Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. A late night shooting in Columbus sends one person to the hospital, another in custody. The shooting happened on Sylvan Road in East Columbus. That's where we find our Quentin Smith, who joins us live with the details. Quentin.
Scott, it's still a very active scene out here right now. Police literally lined this entire street. Now I'm going to step out of the frame and just point your attention to this home with the yellow crime type around it. As you can see, investigators are still on scene combing through evidence. Now, it was this home that police were called to in the 700 block of Sylvan Street because someone had been shot. When police arrived, they found a white male shot in the chest. Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton says the victim was shot by his girlfriend. Now, at this time, a motive for the shooting is unclear. Shelton says the victim was rushed to the hospital and he is expected to recover.
Right now, we know that it's non-life-threatening. He was stabilized before he was taken to the hospital, so hopefully, prayerfully, everything will be okay and the person will be okay. But right now, we have the person that did the shooting. We have that person in custody. It was a female, and we have her in custody, and she's at the police department being questioned concerning this crime.
Now on your screen now is the accused gunman, according to Police Chief Fred Shelton. At this time, Shelton says charges against her are still pending. But again, Shelton says a white male was shot in the chest by his girlfriend. He says the victim was rushed to the hospital but is expected to make a full recovery. Now, of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story and bring you more details as they become available. But for now, reporting live in Columbus, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
All right, Quentin, thank you very much for that. In other news tonight, the investigation into the fatal shooting of 16-year-old Erica White weighs heavy on many here in Columbus. For the first time tonight, Police Chief Fred Shelton is giving us new details from that night.
Yellow tape still lingers from Saturday night's shooting. The Probst Park Community Activity Center still a crime scene.
A young life has been taken, and another young life is going to be taken in the sense that he will be incarcerated if convicted for a long time.
16-year-old Erica White, police say, was struck by a bullet. The accused shooter, 17-year-old Curtis Lathan. Lathan is now charged with murder.
Guns are designed to kill people. We should not discharge firearms in the city limits.
Multiple sources say a security guard fired shots in the air in an attempt to break up a large fight. That's when investigators believe Lathan fired a round striking White. The center was rented out for a Sweet 16 party. In the past, the city has requested copies of rental applications for the center.
Okay, but we didn't do it this time?
We didn't do it this time, no.
Okay. Is this the first incident?
We didn't do it this time.
More arrests are expected in the coming days as the investigation continues. Chief Shelton says his department is working on plans for implementing new rules and increasing patrols to increase safety during scheduled events.
If it's the event that we think that's cause concern, we'll either ask the renter to not allow them to have it, or we'll go down there, and if it seems out of control and there's some illegal activity going on, then we'll ask them to shut it. Since it is with it being city property, we do have the authority to enforce that and to shut an event down or have the people to leave if it's detrimental.
At least one other person was cited for shooting a gun in city limits at that party. City ordinance does not allow firearms in recreational and community centers unless approved by City Council or the person has a valid enhanced concealed carry permit. There's a new sheriff in Pickens County tonight. Gordo Police Chief Todd Hall was appointed sheriff by Alabama Governor Kay Ivey. Hall took the oath of office this afternoon. Pickens County Coroner Chad Harless has been the acting sheriff since David Abston resigned from office. Abston was sheriff for more than 3 decades. He's pleaded guilty to 2 federal charges involving a scam to feed inmates with food from a food bank. Prosecutors say Abston kept the money he saved in the scheme. Hall has been the chief in Gordo for more than a decade. Bond is set for a man accused of an early July murder in Webster County. Charles Potts went before Justice Court Judge Jerry Jones today. Potts is charged with the murder in the shooting death of Jerome Cullum in Webster County back on July 7th. Potts' bond was set at $75,000. His case was bound over to the grand jury, which will meet in December. Court hearings and other county business in Webster County now have a new home. After over 6 years, the county once again has its own courthouse. Our Riley Livingston talks with county officials about how the new facility is helping them.
Over 6 years ago, a fire destroyed the Webster County Courthouse, scattering county offices and employees into temporary quarters. But now they are back together under one roof.
It's been 6.5 years since the courthouse burned, and when you have worked in a building as long as we had worked in the Webster County Courthouse, it's like losing a home. But we're so excited to be in this new building, and we're enjoying it.
The county office building made room for some officials, including Circuit Clerk Sherry Henderson. While she was thankful for the space, there were some drawbacks.
If anybody had come in to see us, you could tell that we were kind of squashed together, desks butted up against each other. Basically, we could roll around in our chairs and go wherever we needed to go. So
that's no longer an issue.
Having all this room, it's wonderful. We have places for our books to go. We have a workroom. I have an office. We have the outer office for people to come in. We have a vault. And so we just have so much room. We're filling it up really fast, but we're just so thankful to have that much room.
Chancery Judge Rodney Favor is excited about upgrades in the new courtrooms.
They've got everything state of the art. I mean, we've got projectors that attorneys can put evidence up for us to view, and the people in the courtroom, they've got a sound system that is outstanding, is going to be able to allow me not to have to yell, the witnesses not to have to yell. It's just, we've got everything that you could possibly want in a courthouse.
Definitely looks like a lovely facility. Henderson does want to say thank you to Choctaw County for letting them hold court in their courthouse while they were displaced. Time now to get a first look at our forecast. We'll send things over to meteorologist Kendall Smith. Hey there, Kendall.
Hey, Scott. Well, a beautiful day as well as a very pleasant evening across the area. This is taking a live look in downtown Columbus on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera Network, where temperatures are currently sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s. 71 here in Columbus, 66 a little cooler in Starkville, and 68 in Winona. So it is pretty warm out there, but when you factor in those dew points also in the 60s, it's rather comfortable. And as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 60s with partly cloudy skies expected.
Last night, some of you saw an hour of questions and answers in the only Republican gubernatorial debate to feature all three candidates. But how effective were the messages from Robert Foster, Tate Reeves, and Bill Waller Jr.? Courtney Ann Jackson has a breakdown on whether it was enough to move the needle for voters.
Let's talk tactics. Millsap's Department of Government and Politics Chair Dr. Nathan Schrader noticed each candidate stuck to certain plans throughout the night.
Reeves' strategy is do no harm to your own campaign, and the safe message of if you're happy with the Haley Barbour, Phil Bryant, Mississippi, I'm the continuation of that, and I'll keep moving in their direction.
Waller circled back to his priority issues of education, health care, and roads and bridges.
The tactic that Waller used is just don't talk to the other two candidates. Already going to have they're playing the trump card. He's going to keep talking about the issues he's been talking about since he got into this race.
While Foster didn't shy away from taking some jabs at Reeves.
Took swings in a way that did not come across as being especially condescending, rude, arrogant, or negative, which sometimes that is what becomes a turnoff in a debate style setting, is when one candidate goes to the well so many times on the same line of attack that begins to feel very aggressive and rude.
Schrader notes that he didn't think any of the candidates did poorly Tuesday night, but
I think that Robert Foster actually did the most to help his campaign. In terms of, if you think about all the things that a Republican primary voter in this state may be looking for, I don't think that Lieutenant Governor Reeves did anything that would hurt his campaign. I don't think he lost ground yesterday. I'm not so sure that anything happened there to really help Justice Waller build on his support.
Primary election day is August 6th. If a runoff is needed, it will be held August 27th. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Well, the bright sunshine and slightly cooler temperatures will stick with us throughout the end of this week, but the typical summer weather pattern looks to return by next week. More on those details coming up next.
Post Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, a cool and refreshing evening out there. This is taking a live look in downtown Louisville, Mississippi on our Alpha Insurance Sky Camera, where temperatures are currently sitting at 64 and a dew point is sitting in the low 60s as well. So it's feeling pretty comfortable out there if you do happen to be out and about at this time. And area-wide, we are seeing temperatures much of the same, upper 60s and low 70s, 71 here in Columbus, 70 in Macon, 69 in Louisville, and 66 a little cooler in Starkville. Now, as we go throughout your overnight hours, temperatures will dip down into the low 60s with mostly clear skies expected. A cool and refreshing evening is in store for us. Winds will be out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles an hour. So check out these lows. If we make it down into the upper 50s this evening, we could set some records. If we make it down to 59 here in Columbus, that'll set a record as we haven't seen that since 1911, as well as 62 in Tupelo. That didn't happen since 2014, as well as 58 in Oxford 2014 and 59 in Starkville 1911. So we could be setting some records this evening, and we're going to continue to monitor that over the next several hours. And taking a look at our comfort index, as temperatures do start to warm up a little bit over the next several days, our dew point still will be rather low, so the comfort index still looks to be rather comfortable if you do happen to have any outdoor plans over the next several days. And right now, we're seeing mostly clear skies. That's going to continue to be the trend as we go throughout the overnight hours, and by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we're looking to see not even hardly a cloud in the sky. Lots and lots of sunshine is expected all throughout your day on Thursday. Make sure to get outside because tomorrow's going to be a gorgeous day. This is stopping this and around 3 o'clock, still looks rather nice, and then as we go throughout the overnight hours, still looking to be clear. So that cold front that brought us those lower humidities as well as cooler temperatures has since pushed off down to our south, and it is starting to mix with the warm Gulf air as well as waters, and it could have a potential to create a tropical system. Now this is very low, percentage is about 10% at this time, but what it could do is bring some rain chances down along the coast. So we'll continue to monitor that, as that could give us some rain as well. Friday morning, looking to see partly cloudy skies. For the most part, we're going to be that way for your Friday, a little bit warmer. And on Saturday morning, look to see partly cloudy skies. By the afternoon, we could see 1 or 2 possible showers, but the greatest chance to see some shower and thunderstorm activity will come on your Sunday as well as Monday. So area-wide temperatures will top out in the mid to upper 80s, looking a little bit warmer down to our south. Upper 80s are expected, and then West Alabama, you guessed it, much of the same, mid to upper 80s are expected. So we have a couple more days of really nice conditions. Thursday and Friday looks to be really favorable. Saturday, we're going to bring those rain chances back in, as well as by the time we make it into the start of next week, and temperatures will climb back into the low 90s.
Some diners at a North Mississippi restaurant may need to get checked out. We have a health alert for you when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. We hear it a lot. Donating blood saves lives. Tonight, we learn how important it is that certain patients get the blood that they need in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kilburn, a medical technologist and blood bank supervisor at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Here are some facts about blood donation. Here at Baptist Golden Triangle, we transfuse an average of 250 units of red cells every month to an average of 110 patients. Recipients include cancer patients, sickle cell anemia patients, patients with other types of anemia, surgery and trauma patients, and premature or sick newborns. As you can see, the need is great, and a reduction in donor turnout can put the blood supply of our nation, our state, and our hospital at a critically low level. Donating blood is a safe process. A sterile needle is used only once and then discarded. Blood donation is a simple 4-step process: registration, medical history, and mini physical, donation, and refreshments. Every donor is given a mini physical, checking the donor's temperature, blood pressure, pulse, and hemoglobin to ensure it is safe for the donor to give blood. The actual blood donation typically takes less than 10 to 12 minutes. The average adult has about 10 pints of blood in his or her body. Roughly 1 pint is given during a donation. A healthy donor may donate red cells every 56 days or double red cells every 112 days. All donated blood is tested for HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, and other infectious diseases before it can be released to hospitals. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will talk more about donating blood.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Now you can help replenish area blood supplies this Friday at Baptist Golden Triangle right here in Columbus. BMH is hosting a blood drive from 11:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. at the Outpatient Pavilion Conference Center. The Mississippi State Department of Health is warning of a possible hepatitis A exposure at a Calhoun City restaurant. An employee at Los Encinos Mexican Grill has been diagnosed with the virus. Customers who ate at the restaurant from July 5th to July 23rd are encouraged to get a hepatitis A vaccination. Symptoms of the virus include nausea, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. Anyone with those symptoms should see their healthcare provider. The high school football tour continues with Houston. More on the Hilltoppers right after the break.
Here's sports on WCBI.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Bolton. The 31st stop of the high school football tour takes us to Chickasaw County, visiting with the Houston Hilltoppers. Yet another uber-talented bunch for the Toppers, looking to take that next step and end the season satisfied.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
Just let everybody know at 3 we coming.
The history makers in Houston believe this year may be the best one yet. 2018 brought the Toppers its first division title in 20 years, and this year's senior class has seen its win total increase in each of the past 3 seasons.
Those guys have been playing together since Pee Wee, and they're a very special group. They have a very good bond. It's just makes my job easy.
You basically got to say defense, and the way we're working, I pretty much think we can be better than we were last year.
We got some guys coming up that I feel like are going to do a good job on the O-line and in the secondary, and I feel like this season we're going to go all the way this season.
The one glaring hole head coach Ty Harden's bunch will have to fill, reigning end zone offensive player of the year Jalen May. Harden believes he has plenty of guys chomping at the bit to fill May's shoes.
I think we've got more athletes than we had. We just don't have that one dynamite touchdown maker. We've got several guys that can do it, though. You know, we got Bobby Townsend, Xavier Ford, Ja'Cory Golden, Red Parker, Allen Robertson. All those guys, they can score anytime they get the ball in their hand.
Back-to-back third-round playoff appearances, back-to-back seasons coming up just short of a North Half final appearance. The Toppers are tired of the third-round hump and know they have what it takes to get to Hattiesburg.
We have a lot of talent in different positions and a lot of fresh people. The third round really was our hump, but this year we're going to pass the third round. We're going to go all the way this year.
No little mistakes, and I mean, those little mistakes add up to losses. Like last year, you know, fumbles and all, you know, they caused us to lose. So we just take that and, you know, work harder and not make those same mistakes again.
We ask them every week, every day, do we want to be a third-round team? Or do we want to keep making history? We've made history every year with wins, but we're not satisfied. Was not satisfied this past season, not going to be satisfied until we take that next step.
Houston kicks off 2019 in H-Town, taking on the Pontotoc Warriors. With Topper Pride on the high school football tour, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Houston High School was brought to you by Houston Banking Center.
Mississippi State women's head coach Vic Schaefer is teaming up with USA Basketball as he joins the coaching staff in preparation for the Pan American Games. Schaefer joins the staff as an assistant coach. Training camp for the games started today and run through August the 1st. The Pan American Games are held every 4 years in the year prior to the Olympics. The Pan Am Games start on August 6th. CP3 is known as one of the best to do it at the point guard position, making it that much more special for Ole Miss guard Breanne Tyree to attend his camp. The top returning scorer in the SEC was one of 24 players to receive an invite to Chris Paul's elite guard camp last weekend. Last season, Tyree averaged 17.9 points per game. The first-team All-SEC guard enters his senior campaign with 1,187 career points, ranking him as 28th on Ole Miss's all-time scoring list. As we near August, the college football award watch list continues to be unveiled. We have the Groza watch list featuring Ole Miss's kicker Luke Logan. The Groza Award is given to the nation's best collegiate kicker. Logan was 22 for 27 in field goal attempts last season, finishing third in the SEC in scoring and 10th nationally. The winner will be announced on December 12th. That's all we have for sports. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Right, attention soap opera fans. Today's episodes of The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful will air tonight after the Late Late Show with James Corden. The programs were preempted by today's coverage of the Mueller hearings. Both shows will air in their entirety starting at 1:05 this morning, or tomorrow morning, that is. So go ahead and get those DVRs set because, like me and you, Kendall, we're going to be asleep.
Yes. Well, we are going to continue to see pretty favorable conditions over the next couple of days. Thursday and Friday look to be really nice. Saturday, we're going to bring in just a slight chance to see a pop-up shower or two. But then by the end of the weekend, as we head into the beginning of next week, unfortunately, that typical summer weather pattern does look to return.
So is that humidity starting to creep its way back in?
Yes, yes, unfortunately, as well as, you know, the typical afternoon showers and thunderstorms.
That I can handle a little bit, but it's that humidity. I think everybody here is just like, we're over the humidity.
Agreed, I agree.
It's been, I actually opened my windows this morning. It was refreshing to just kind of let that cold air, cooler air, if you want to call it.
Do that again tonight. It will be another cool and refreshing evening to do that. So.
A July cold front. We like those little blessings.
We do.
Like them. All right, thanks, Kendall. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.